get those batteries in for your smoke alarms.
Good idea.
Thank you, JC.
The news continues. World News Tonight with David Muir is up next.
We hope to see you back here at 6 on News 30.
Just like my kids, I was raised with our Kentucky values. We treat everyone with respect, and we look out for our neighbors. Matt Bevin doesn't share our values.
You can't win an argument with an ignorant.
Bevin doesn't share our values.
You can't win an argument with an ignorant person. It's remarkably selfish.
It's none of their business.
Couldn't
Ask
tie
Bevin.
that no better.
He's tried to rip health care away from our families, and he's cutting.
It's time for
public
world
education.
news. I'm waiting
We
for world
can't take
news.
4 more years. I'm giving everything.
Looks like they're running behind a little.
Wow, Lumberyard did this?
Oh yeah, new homes, remodels, you name it, and we're your people. For all your design needs, it's the right place to go.
Yeah, something's off.
Tonight, several developing stories as we come on the air. The first person working inside the White House to testify in the impeachment inquiry, defying White House orders not to appear. A national security official, a decorated Iraq war vet, who listened in on President Trump's phone call with the president of Ukraine. What he says he heard and then reported more than once. And tonight, the other breaking headline, the shouting match that erupted during that testimony, were members of Congress trying to get him to reveal the name of the whistleblower. Also breaking tonight, the raging fires in California and the major new concern at this hour. Tonight into tomorrow, now bracing for the worst winds yet. Hurricane-force wind gusts, and tonight already in Los Angeles, homes have burned to the ground, and to the north in San Francisco, more than 100 homes and structures gone. The horrific scene in the Northeast tonight, the plane crashing into a neighborhood, setting homes on fire.
Wow.
There is news coming in tonight about the pilot. Boeing's CEO grilled by Congress, confronted by families holding up pictures of loved ones 1 year after the first deadly crash of that 737 MAX jet. How he responded. That cruise ship tragedy, a toddler or granddaughter falling from that cruise ship window. Tonight, her Indiana grandfather charged with negligent homicide.
Wow.
The family defending him and what they're now demanding to see. The deadly earthquake tonight, buildings shaking, homes and schools destroyed. Breaking news in the urgent manhunt for a missing 14-year-old girl, a confirmed sighting tonight with the suspect. And the horrific attack at a McDonald's drive-thru and the motive behind it.
Wow.
This is non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
And dire extreme red flag warning in effect here as we come on the air for critical fire weather conditions. While 400 plus miles to the north of us, crews are still working to gain the upper hand in that epic battle against a fire that has displaced more than 100,000 people and is still on the move. Tonight, with major fires on both ends of California, the worst may still be to come.
We have the most significant wind event in Los Angeles of the year that will be starting this evening.
The biggest blaze, the Kincaid Fire, burning in Sonoma County, growing overnight, now more than 75,000 acres, threatening more than 90,000 structures. Air quality a major concern. At this couple's wedding, masks were handed out to guests. The Kincaid Fire has now been burning 6 days. 150,000 people remain under evacuation orders.
Really frustrated. Just not knowing what to do. Yeah, living paycheck to paycheck and, not having enough money to go somewhere else.
Frustration.
Sad.
Son Hunter. In his opening statement, Vindman said, "I did not think it was proper to demand that a foreign government investigate a U.S. citizen," adding that it would undermine U.S. national security. He said he was also troubled by the behavior of Gordon Sondland, the U.S. ambassador to the European Union. In a meeting with Ukrainian officials, Vindman
Flames, but smoldering pieces, hot spots that could ignite the next fire once the winds arrive. Tonight, wind gusts could reach 80 miles an hour in the mountains surrounding L.A.
We're very concerned about the events tonight.
Ralph Terrazas is the chief of the L.A. Fire Department. What's your big fear tonight when the winds kick up as forecast?
Well, my big fear at this fire here, the Getty Fire, is not completely cold, and that the embers are going to blow downwind and start another fire.
A transmission pole is thought to have sparked this fire late Sunday. A lot of these folks got out just in the nick of time. You had some elderly folks. Can you talk about the rescues at the height of this?
We had 17 rescue missions. We sent up an ambulance along with an EMS captain to every one of those addresses and helped those people evacuate the area.
90-year-old Nola Highland says she had no other way out. Were you able to grab anything or bring anything with you?
My purse and some money. That's it.
With another dangerous night expected, officials are pleading with residents under evacuation orders not to return home. Those dangerous winds here in Southern California expected to kick in sometime after 11 o'clock tonight. With tens of thousands of homes and other buildings threatened by that monster fire in the north, the battle to contain it has taken on epic proportions. Our Gotti Schwartz is with firefighters there tonight.
On the front lines to the fiery back roads. Crews from all across the West racing to protect homes.
So sad.
These are men and women fighting fire in the most dangerous conditions, sometimes even with their hands. At the Kincaid Fire, the biggest in California, 4,500 from 10 different states trying to keep the fire here from growing, many of them on grueling 24-hour shifts.
A couple of days we're pretty tired, being out on the line all night.
Back at base camp, they sleep in tents when they can, sharpen their tools, prep their trucks, then fuel up and go back out to find more hot spots.
How do you make it through 24 hours nonstop?
You do it. Some crews now working on the fire for their 6th day, in conditions that would push almost anyone to their limits.
We're kind of in our battle rhythm right now, as we like to call it.
But to those in harm's way, their work is unrepayable.
The house is still here, Lord. Thank you.
And now, in an area still without power, gratitude is written by hand.
If it wasn't for the firefighters, what do you think would have happened to the house?
This old wooden structure would have torched as quick as one of these oak trees, you know what I mean, if they didn't hold the line.
Tonight, those with homes still standing are praying that firefighters will continue to hold their lines.
And here at this massive base camp, crews are getting as much rest as they can before what will become a chaotic night. Meanwhile, there are already thousands of crews out there in the hills bracing for these winds that we're starting to see pick up. And this is not a question of whether this fire will grow. It will grow. It's a matter of whether these crews can contain it. Lester, back to you.
And hats off to those crews tonight. Gotti, thank you.
Absolutely.
And back inside our LA newsroom, from north to south, we are in for a dangerous night with perhaps the most ferocious winds of the year, as we've been saying. Al Roker joins us. Al, what are you looking at?
Lester, this is an unprecedented Santa Ana event. As you look into Northern California, peak winds now through Wednesday morning, but Southern California, peak winds tonight through Thursday, and now the National Weather Service issuing a first-time extreme red flag warning. 27 million people at risk, strongest Santa Ana this season, an extraordinary and dire threat. We've got in Southern California gusts of up to 80 miles per hour, a widespread power outage possibility, and we've got wind gusts anywhere from 35 to 75 miles per hour. When people are told to evacuate, Lester, they must evacuate immediately.
But yet now we got people that don't believe that environmental global warming is real. When you have this type of extreme weather patterns, there's no way to deny that something is going on with Mother Nature as far as our vegetation and seeing the radical weather extreme changes that are happening not just here in America, but throughout the planet.
All right, Al Roker.
Please, people, wake up.
Thanks. There was dramatic testimony in the...
You got wind gusts anywhere from 30...
All right, Al Roker.
Homes ended up looking like this when you can see those crews coming up the hill right now to continue working. And it's not just in this part of California. 43 counties under red flag warnings tonight. That applies to 27 million people.
43 counties. 27 million people. There's not but something like 7 million people in the whole state of Tennessee.
Right to senior meteorologist Rob Marciano, also live in California, because these winds are a real danger in the hours ahead. Rob, what can you tell us?
Well, here we go again, David. Yet another big wind event coming in just the last couple of weeks. And as you mentioned, this could be the worst, not just this year, but in years. Look at the red flag warnings. Matt mentioned a huge expanse. We've got high wind warnings that have just been upgraded also across Southern California. The winds have been picking up all day across Northern California, pouring some of that smoke into the valleys for bad air conditions there. Critical conditions up there. We go extreme here in Southern California beginning around midnight. Then that area gets expanded through Los Angeles all the way down east of San Diego during the day tomorrow. Extremely levels of humidity. Look at these wind gusts we expect to see in the cities. 30, 40, 50 mile per hour gusts along the ridges where those fires start and explode, potentially as much as 80 or 85 miles an hour, peaking tomorrow, but lasting at least through Thursday, David.
Wow, gusts up to 85 miles per hour. All right, Rob, our thanks to you again tonight as well. To the other news, a deadly plane crash in a New Jersey neighborhood about 25 miles outside New York City. In fact, look at this doorbell camera. It captured the Cessna plunging from the sky there in the distance, slamming